Hey guys, Luna here and Pesterquest. Last time I did a very short video on the two secret achievements for the no doubles. There's only room for one petticoat sea lift on the high seas and one weenie. You and Tarvos had a lot in common. So now we're going to go on to Heart So True, actually befriending Tarvos, which is kind of funny. And so let's get to it. Oh yeah, first things first. So, where's Tarvos? Tarvos. Vol V8 R1. R1 R Tavros. I just thought that art. Glistening in gold and albinism. The beast. What is Albinism is discrimination in favor of able-bodied people. Obviously there's also adult language, violence, and innuendos. So please be prepared for that. So let's get started, shall we? With Volume 8, Route 1, Glimmering Gold and Cold Iron. You're enjoying a brisk, cold, head-clearing walk in Artarian moonlight when the plot comes screaming toward you. Literally. You don't even have time for introspection. Huzzah! Ah. You turn your head to see a guy in a wheelchair whizzing down a nearby hill. He's got a phone in one hand, making it difficult for him to control his scent with the other. You quickly rush over in time to see him hit a rock and go flying through the air with an impressive arc. Ugh. Bringing the fallen wheelchair over to him, he stares back at you for a second and then pulls himself back into it with a grunt. Thank you, weird and ugly alien stranger. Oh god, no, that... I'm thinking some sort of, like, high-pitched tone. I don't know, I'll have to tinker with it a little bit. Once he's settled into the chair, you look over for the boy you just helped. He's lanky and scrawny except for his oversized horns, giving the impression of a boy going through a very awkward puberty. His wheelchair is simple and flimsy, and it looks like it's gone through a lot of wear and tear. Oh, actually speaking, I should say that my name is Tarvos. Tarvos. As it is now usual for you, the name sounds familiar, even though you're not sure if any other friends mentioned him by name, which is because... You give him a proper greeting and then ask what happened. He nods to an old watchtower at the top of the hill. I was attempting to scale toward the tower to acquire a rare put-a-spawn gold monster what's named Vulpine. It's ranked Ether Mythical Triple and Scratch, which is one of the rarest of all least concerning monsters that can be found in lower-blooded neighborhoods. But it appears to be tragically out of my reach, no matter how much I believe my ability to pursue it. You don't know what a Fuda spawn is, but maybe you could help? You've wrangled a few monsters in your time. What? You could help push him up the hill. Maybe fight some giant, horrifying beast, the usual. Wow, I'm normally expected to do everything myself, always. The only trolls who offer to help me are those who live too far away to actually do anything of consequence. Which is fine, I get it, but it's really useless to me. Anyway, no. What? I don't want your help, on account of it, and if I take it, I will be weakened myself in failing to grow as a troll. I would just have to try again and again and grievously hurt in the process again. Don't worry. Oh, I just realized he has a bruised eye. Oh, Tarvos. Tarvos begins to reel back toward the hill. You know how the story goes. You'll have to spend your entire evening convincing this poor troll boy that it's okay to accept help from others. You launch into a gentle pitch about how help from a friend can... Excuse me. Oh, well, if you say so, then I accept your help. Oh, no, that was easy. You follow Tarvos up the hill. When he reaches the steepest part of the earth and his wheels begin to lose traction, you step up behind him and give him a little push he needs. The two of you are successful in scaling the hill, and Tarvos grins and taps his phone. Oh, it's a phone game? No real monsters involved? Holy shit, this is new to you. Yes, Vulpine is now acquired. Thank you greatly. Maybe the cartoons for Wrigglers were right all along, and friendship is truly the greatest source of power to exist. Finally, someone who gets you. You ask if he wants a quick ride home, and he tilts his head in confusion. I already have a ride. Anyway, always. I'm sitting in it. Not like that. You tell him. It's hard to explain. Just trust you on this one. Okay, let's go. With that, you grip his chair and focus your energy, and zap over to his hive. Whoa, are you magic? Yes. Just, yes. Awesome. Do you know any fairies? No. Yucks. I like Tarvos. Tarvos is great. Tarvos glances around the room and you follow suit. Your eyes settle on the advertisement for a theatrical run of Pupa Pan. A pinch of special stardust is all it takes to fly. Brought to you by Her Imperious Condescendence 19th Favorite Theatre Company. Reserved seating for high bloods. Hecklers will be called. The rest of the room is scattered plain and sparsely decorated. The floor is scattered with messy gaming supplies. Sora, this is my hive. What do you think? Would you characterize this pad as sufficiently cool? Yes. Tarvos, you're great. You glance around the framed picture of a fey trickster in booty shorts. Sure, yeah, this pad is cool as hell. Yeah, you can kind of see the fairy here, and then there's another fairy here. Excellent. I hope you would. Your approval is most good to have. I thought you might be on account of me being boring and kind of sad. Aw, boring and sad kids are your favorite, you tell Torbs. Wait, that sounds terrible. Ignore that. You mean you relish the opportunity to make people less sad? Oh, don't worry about it then, because I'm definitely sorrowful enough to satisfy. Also, I am not great at talking either, so we have at least one point of failure in common. Thanks? Tarvos flashes you a thumbs up and a wink. He wheels closer to you, and one of his scatter cards crunches under his tread and gets stuck, necessitating a bit of finagling. You must admit, you're a little surprised by the wheelchair. Experience in Ontario would suggest that their culture is not very kind to the disabled. Oh, it very isn't. There is also a long story behind the fact that me being like this. Kanye seems to not talk about it because it hurts my self-esteem. Oh, okay, fine. You turn your attention to some of his cards. Perhaps he can teach you. Well, if you insist, I will reveal to you my tragic backstory. I used to be more of a hardcore gamer who would do the extreme role plays. And I did have a friend, or I thought she was my friend, who I did play Flarp with. Oh no, I don't know the scores. Oh, you're familiar with Flarp? You're a boy schlark. Come to think of it, you got a great Flarp friend who might be love to meet. Well, I don't play anymore, because this old friend of mine did a bad thing to me, resulting in a chain of revenge that was very tragical. Essentially, the story is that I was thrown off a cliff physically and become heavily injured, which resulted in my legs not working. Oh god, that sounds terrible. I should honestly go back and redo the Flarp thing just so I have my original character back. Oh god, that sounds terrible. The copper continues to hassle me sometimes in ways which are supposedly remorseful, but mostly continue to make me feel bad. Why does that not surprise me? So, for instance, trying to make me learn how to climb stairs, or fight better, or telling me I'm useless and awful because I can't. I already hate Beth. Although she sent me this 4-wheel device which helps me not be cold. That's nice, I guess. Although maybe she wouldn't have done that if Kanye didn't say to you. I don't know, she's hard to understand. Sometimes very nice, and other times extremely not nice. I can't figure out how she truly feels about me. Oh, this girl Tarvos is talking about seems like a real piece of work. You should be glad none of your friends are anything like that. Yeah, but maybe it's best not to think about her, actually. Kanye was right. Why don't I teach you how to play? Tarvos! Tarvos freezes up instinctively. Oh no, that's her. The one who injured me. Oh no, your spine lice is over. He recognizes telltale exaggerated call, but how can this be? How can your dear, sweet, precious friend Friska have done such a horrible thing to... okay, yeah, no, that tracks. Maybe she did do one thing wrong. But why? This isn't like the other kids she killed. You know Friska is violent and versatile. She had to do to survive, but harass Tarvos after the fact instead of just beating him to her luskus? It doesn't make sense. You feel sick to your stomach. Hey, Tarvos, you haven't been answering Liz, we need to talk. Her voice comes from outside the window as it moves around the perimeter of the house. This is already going to be bad. You glance at Tarvos' stricken face as you hear the sound of keys jiggling the lock. Fuck, she has keys to his hive? Ugh. Tarvos groans and leans back in his chair. Vriska barges into the rest block and then freezes up. Oh, hey. Hey, you say with an awkward wave. Vriska seems uncomfortable. I didn't know you knew this dork. It's a friendship in progress. Tarvos has told you some things about their past together. Of course he has. Okay, listen. I know it sounds bad because it is, and I get that, okay? Way back when, it was less than a sweep ago. I was part of a flawed campaign that went way off the... Tarvos ended up getting thrown off a cliff. And it was basically my fault. But that's all in the past now. Things are better now. Hooked up Tarvos with the sweet wheelchair on everything. It's not that sweet. Shut up, Tarvos. I'm talking about how terrible I feel about hurting you. Tarvos cringed. You tried to intercede on his behalf. Why is Vriska here? Oh, right. I'm here to extend an olive branch. Very magnanimously. So, if you ask me, Tavros and I are getting a band back together. Not for Flybra, obviously. The ship is failed. But we're going to whip this planet into shape, and we need all the help we're going to get. You spent enough time moping around uselessly. It's time for some action. You're in, right? No? What do you mean, no? I mean, I don't really want to do anything exciting or dangerous like that. Especially because you're gonna be involved. I don't think it would be good for me to also be. Oh, come on. Things look totally square between us, Tarvos. We all got hurt. Besides, I was trying to help you live up to your potential. You could be somebody. You could finally start living up to your legacy. I don't want to be somebody, at least not your kind of somebody. Tough luck, Torador. None of us get that choice. Nothing changes by the time your rites of maturation roll around. You're screwed. The drones will call you in an instant. Vriska turns to you, her eyes wide, her fist trembling. Her frustrated glare barely conceals the desperation beneath. I mean, you agree with me, right? Tarvos needs to shape up. He needs us. It's time for us to put the past behind us and move on. I'm trying to help him. She leans closer. It's obvious she wants you to back her up. Quick. Before I make a decision, I'm actually going to go... I'm gonna quickly save, so I should be fine. I'm going to quickly just go back through the Scourge of High Siege just to because I just want to play Flarp, and I do want to quickly redo this. Get away with mischief. I'm like that. Griffinice. Grace. Dex. Sheer confidence. That there image. Sure. Wait. Random boy. I'm trying to just remember the... It's kind of interesting, like, all of the different classes that they are. Tar's worst nightmare. Spruce Lee, probably. Let's just go with the... What was I? I'm trying to remember. Logic, farm. Play night. God, I'm trying to remember what I was before. Okay, I'm just gonna reset because I know health was there, Dex, and I know Grace. I'm just trying to remember what I. Oh, I think I probably had image. Yeah, there you go. So passive healings because I want, and then low grits. Leverage of the foundations of the balance, but I don't really. I think I'd low that. Let's see here. Put that there. That there and put that there. There we go. Finalize Celestia Claire. Obviously, just getting that. This. And there we go. Just wanted to make sure I had my updated character. What are you? I think you're a centrist? This is a choice-driven narrative, and obviously you have to choose between two equally unsatisfying, mutually incompatible options, which forever alienate you from the side you did not pick. Try again. Guess I'll side with Vriskra, because obviously it's the route I am not going with, so you can't resist her force of personality. When Vriskra speaks, it just sounds right. Tell Tavros that he should accept Vriska's offer. Hell yeah! See, Tarvos? My buddy here agrees. Let bygones be bygones. Tarvos shrinks into his chair, small and sad. The two of you just stare at him as the awkward silence swirls and mists around you. Vriskra clenches her fist and steps forward. It is kind of interesting that all of them have 6-letter names. But you quickly put a hand on her shoulder and she pauses. Ugh, being around here is so depressing and someone doesn't want to help my help anyway. Whatever, come on, Pi. Good enough bowl for one night. Let's go chill at somewhere less boring. Like, I don't know, an arcade? Maybe a movie theater? Haha. Why do people without a list to take care of him do? You check to Vriskra that you can find out together. She beams. Okay, bye, I guess. Tarvos seems conflicted, as though he can't decide whether to be relieved that Vriskra is leaving or upset that you're abandoning him, or upset that you're abandoning him. You really don't care, though. You're going to an arcade. Friendship! Huzzah! Yeah. I'm gonna side with I'm just gonna see if I... Okay, yeah, so just choosing the option to side with Tarvos. Take a step closer to Tarvos and Vriskra visibly deflates. Are you really surprised, buddy, old pal? It's... Come on, Pi. Can't we seriously be on his side? Yes, you can be. You are. You think you understand now. You see how Vriskra took her suffering and bitterness and passed it along. You see how under beastly tutelage she learned to stick her fangs into her prey and tell herself she was doing it for their own good. In these two, you see a microcosm of bacteria, of hurt kids hurting kids, until you finally the buck stops at the kindest or weakest of them. So no matter how much sympathy you have for her, you can't stand idly by and let Vriskra continue this cycle of hurt. Tell Vriskra to look at Tarvos, really look at him. Now, if her help has really done anything for him. Isn't this kind of the suffering that she and Tezra want to prevent? Right now, the best thing she can do for Tarvos is leave him alone. Yes, thank you. Alone? You don't get it. None of you do. If I leave him alone, he's toast. Seriously, if you had not figured it out by now, you've seen what this planet's like. You think we can just flip a switch and fix everything over a day? Because instead of overnight. That's actually pretty clever. He's a worthless loser living in a world that hates losers, and if that doesn't change, he's going to die a sad, pathetic death. And you and Kanya and everyone else you're just going to be enabling him. When he croaks, it's just going to be on your head, not mine. If you rather hang out with Tarvos in make-believe fairyland, be my guest. but some of us are still going to be living here in the real world. Sometimes it be like that. You and Vriska spend a while staring at one another. All he can muster is a look of pity, which only seems to incentivize her further. Her face crunches up and then goes steely and flat. Her voice is icy and calm. You two have your fun, I'm out. Vriska slams the door shut and leaves. Tarvos exhales a long sigh of relief. Well, that went pretty well for an encounter with Vriska, all things considered. I only feel somewhat terrible about who I am. Hey, it's fine, buddy. It's fine. Slowly, gently, you place a comforting hand over Tarvos' shoulder and tell him that he deserves better than this. It's not his fault. Vriska is difficult. Yeah, Kanye sends up. Sometimes I must believe her when she does. It's gonna be okay, buddy. It's gonna be okay. Nothing's gonna hurt you ever again. Hopefully. Oh, fine. The room is silent except for a faint wriggling noise coming from some of the balls on Tarvos' floor. You don't know what else to say. Would you perhaps enjoy playing some photo spawn with me, perhaps? As a manner of distraction? Oh, fuck yes, you tell him. Let's spawn some... Would I? Buddha says? Yeah. Your life experience ensured you to Altarian game design, so you're only mildly nauseated when Tarvos shows you how the physical version of photo spawn works. Beauties, purple critters explode from gooey orbs and vex plushies before bursting out of the form of large monsters with more limbs than you're comfortable with. Also, you have a handful of cards which boost your attributes or allow you to interfere with the opponent's monsters. So I'll keep track here. But before long, the room is full of chittering purple munchashis and easy-looking host plushies on the verge of birthing even more abominations. They're so lost. You think you're winning? Your creature appears to be doing a better job of fraying on his host's plushies and spawning more of themselves. Got a meter in the corner that keeps going up while his goes down. That's good, right? You think it's good, at least where victory is concerned. But you're more... No, don't look sad, no! But you're more concerned with the dejected look on Tarvos' face. He doesn't seem to be giving the game his all. You ask him if he's doing okay. No. Oh, okay, he just came out and said it, I guess. I think, by my thoughts about Vriska. He wheels himself over to the window and looks despondently out. I used to like Vriska a lot, you know, and admire her for so many qualities that were good, such as being very confident or having skill at games. But now I just hate her. It's okay, buddy. Or feel like I should hate her, but instead I do not feel those feelings. In their place, I feel very conflicted and bad about myself, and wonder if there is something wrong that I can't feel angry as I should, or make myself to believe strong enough to talk to her properly about my feelings. It's just a big mess. You glance again at the posters lining Tarvos' walls. Sprightly fairy girls with confident smiles, long messy hair, and blue color schemes. The resemblance to Vriska is uncanny, but superficial. She's never going to be the girl from his posters. This is just not who Vriska is. Exactly. But for a sad, hurt boy who likes to dream, she must seem so painfully close. This is a problem too big for you to untangle right now. You need to redirect Tarvos' thoughts. Close your eyes and ask your intuition. What should you do? Open fly. In the darkness, you reach into your muddled memories and catch a glimpse of glimmering gold. You open your eyes, Poopa Pan stared back at you. Like him, you don't have a special Stardust, but you think you might have something better. Hopefully. Don't, Tarvos. You'll be right back. Sort of. The now familiar Proserpine sprite greets you. You swoop through the shiny architecture until you find those towers that seem to house the dreaming children. Sure enough, Tarvos' dream self can be found in one of the towers, nestled comfortably with a replicon. You poke him on the cheek. No response. Give him a little shake. Nothing. With a sigh, you rear back your head and slap him hard. Tarvos remains asleep. He's practically comatose. Why? This feels so off. Kakarot's awake and Tarvos isn't. And something about this is just wrong, all wrong. How can you have Tarvos under these circumstances? This is... Yeah, he's gotta wake up. You need to wake up. Why won't he be Flash and Tarvos yawns as he rises wearily from his slumber and squints around. He crawls out of his rubber cocoon and reaches over to his ramp, besides with an instinctual motion. His hands find no wheelchairs, and he tumbles over and then quickly rises and then realizes with a start that he's floating in midair. Oh, what? Surprise! You informed Tarvos that this is a mystical world of dreams, that this is part of a game he was supposed to play one day, but now isn't going to. Maybe. Probably? You be honest, you still know exactly how this is supposed to work. But you do know this is a land where you can fly. This seems highly improbable, that such a world would exist, especially that I would be allowed to enter it and freely fly around with no repercussions. It just seems like a thing that would never eventually happen to me. Does it not? You'll be fine, buddy pal. Everything's okay. Everything's fine. But it is happening, you tell him. You prove it by pinching him in his arm. Pinches. Ah, why did you just assault me? It's a thing. Pinching is... Okay, this is cultural misunderstanding. But the fact that he can feel pain should prove that this place is real, or at least as real as magic dream world can be. I see. My arm does certainly hurt in a realistic manner, as well as my feelings, due to an uncalled for an attack from a friendly individual. Oh, for fuck's... Tell Tarvos to stop worrying about that and start unworrying about how he can fly now. Oh yeah! Huzzah! You can fly! Yay! With unsteady movements, Tarvos begins to circle around his dream room. He holds his hands out as he begins to sail around, floating upward and then dipping down. He seems to get the hang of it quickly, and as he does, his face cracks. Wow. Whoa, this feels really amazing. Huzzah! As your invitation, Tarvos follows you out the window and sees Prosper stretching out toward him. His eyes go all starry. Can I really explore all this area? You can, you tell him. Probably. Just don't go barging into anyone's houses. Oh, okay. Tarvos does loops and twirls, pirouettes around spires, and weaves through throngs of Prosperian civilians. He hoots and hollers, the anxious crescendos in his voice nearly absent. The sound echoes among the golden towers and rebounds back to you, a cacophony of childlike exhilaration. You stoop alongside him, buoyant by his excitement, and the two of you begin to race each other around the planet. You run out of energy before Tarvos does, but eventually he comes down from his high and floats lazily beside you, upside down, his mohawk hanging down from his face. His eyes are locked on the Scarian clouds, and he's wearing a wide, if oddly blank grin. Hey, I want to thank you for doing this for me, allowing me to feel this freedom and joy. It really means a lot. Yay, I'm glad you... You grin and give it a thumbs up. You're glad you could help. Yeah, me too. Zah. You glance up at the clouds. How long have you been out here? You figure it's probably time to head back to the real world. You tell him you teleport back and then wake him up. What? Oh no, don't wake me up, please. I don't want to go back to that life. When I could spend my days here, forever feeling blissful and happy once. You pause. That's not the response you're expecting, though I suppose that you should have seen this coming. What about his friends? His responsibilities in the waking world? What happens to when the drones come knocking? Well, those are some persistent questions which I don't care about, though. This is where I'm happy and where I belong. That's what you wanted, right? To help me be happy. Right? And then your work here is done. He smiles at you, and you feel like you should smile back, but there's a hint of sadness behind your eyes that gives you pause. It's like he's waiting for you to take charge and tell him we're choosing escapism. Waiting for you to make the hard decision he doesn't have the guts to make. But that's not the kind of person you are. He'd rather spend most of his time asleep. That's good enough for you. Given the planet he lives on, you can't blame him. So you give him a little wave and vanish into the ether of the cannon. By the time he works up the nerves to say something, you're already gone. Ah, the escapism of the real world. Stay grounded. In the darkness, you read into your muddled memories and catch a glint of cold iron. When you open your eyes, Papa Pan stares back at you. He would have you believe that faith is all that it takes to fly, but you think Tarvos would use something a little more material. You put a gentle hand on his shoulders and ask him what you can do to help spread his wings. His metaphorical wings, that is. That is very much true. It's not like he could ever sprout real ones. That very thought is absurd. Tavros sighs. I just wish I could live more independently, I guess. To take charge of my life and become less under Visca's thumb. I think Tarvos could use some better friends. Real friends. I did have some. Nepeta is very kind to me often. Kamsi and I like to throw down some sick rhymes, and Kanya tries to help with Visca. Not a lot they can do. We live far away. And as nice as my Luskus is, he's unable to help me with all my issues, due to his small size limiting him to only moving and carrying small objects to me when I require them. Oh, buddy. The simple fact is that I don't build my hive with the expectation of one day using a four-wheel device to navigate it. Can Tarvos move to a better hive? Could you help him with that? No. As a bronze, the stipend I receive is not enough to cover such things. Even the four-wheel device, which is highly basic compared to some high-blood models, would have cost me over a wipe's worth of savings. A few changes are available to me, economically speaking, especially if I want to not alert the drone to my unsuitedness for troll expectations. See, money is the issue. That's not something you can help with, at least not directly, but you might know others who can. Tell Tarvos that you're going to step out for a moment to fetch a mutual friend. Hey! You seemed briefly surprised when you turned with Kanya. Guess you don't blame him. This strikes you as a pretty rare pairing, conversely speaking. Oh, Kanya! It's nice to see you in person, unexpectedly. Wow, my hive is terrible looking. Sorry, but hi. You look nice. Yes, I do. How are you faring? Has my advice regarding the construction of an imaginary friend helped your self-esteem? Well, I haven't really got to try it yet, so no, I haven't, I guess. Kanya suppresses a sigh. Why, I'm not surprised. Got some materials to renovate your hive. Oh, please advise us to best redesign this place to suit your needs. Tarvos' eyes water up and he sniffs, leaning forward in his tray. Really, you would do that for me, despite it taking a large portion of time, effort, and presumably money as well? I don't really spend my pension on much besides fabric. And I intend to twist Visca's arm until she offers a portion of her flapping treasure to foot the bill, too. Of course, I'll do it for you. Any less would be a rejection of my helpful sensibilities. So, Kanya says it with a neutral tone, no straight face, as if there's nothing remarkable about it, but Tarvos nevertheless breaks into a grin. Oh, thanks. Okay, give me some time to develop some ideas on how to properly jack this hive up and deliver the most utterly dope and pimped up changes. This is gonna be great. You give Tarvos the requested time, and then you begin to work in earnest. I'm not sure what to expect, but the construction process proves smoother than anticipated. Kanya brings up the alien device which she claims to have borrowed from a sweet-dealing friend of hers. One converts raw materials into strange substance that reminds you of foot gushers. Kanya fells trees with a chainsaw and feeds them into the machine, and before long you have a trove of gusher things. The other device expends the gushers to modify buildings. It has a holographic click and drag interface, much like the Sims played in real life. You find this construction software to be so eerily familiar, but honestly you find everything eerily familiar these days. Very much so. Yes, it is very convenient. Home construction has been an important part of troll culture for as long as history remembers. Most do not know why, although, to me, the reason is obvious. Preparation for the game, which we will no longer be playing due to outside interference. Wait, she knows about that? Yes. I figured out what was going on the day or two after you visited me, but I thought it prudent not to get particularly dramatic about it all. That is very thoughtful of her. Yeah. Kanya fishes up, feeding the logs into the first device, and begins to manipulate Tarvos' hives with the other. Together you are a clockwork team. Tarvos provides direction, lets them with her stellar sense of design, and you provide more support by standing around looking cute. Okay, yes. Now just shelf over to the left. Yeah, like that. Wait, actually, right. Further, okay, no, go back. bit more, that's almost good. Now make it that high. No, lower. There. Right there, and yeah, perfect, I think. Okay, actually, can you go back to your worship? Huzzah! Everything's much more clean and organized. Huzzah! And it takes until the next day to finish the construction, which is actually a great time. You're expecting to have Zap forward once or twice for the sake of the brevity, but the Terran build tool its Tarvos side is swiftly renovated. It is far more spacious than it once was, with ramps and rails aplenty. Under Tarvos' guidance, widened hallways, lower counters, revamped bathrooms. It's like a brand new house. Huzzah! You don't have a ribbon to cut that into celebration, so Tarvos summons some bizarre fid-spawn creatures to shoot confetti all around the entrance to the hive. It's all gross and sticky, and you hate every second of it, but he's having fun. After that, Tarvos spends a while just exploring the hive. He wheels himself through each block, awed by the ease of which he can navigate the space. By the time he reunites to his rest block, he grins his radiance. You take it he likes the new place. Oh yes, it's pad now genuinely frigid. It makes me feel more confident, like the world's benevolent jewel container. Like I would say to Friska, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me, bitch. Okay, I won't say that probably, but I could. Actually, maybe I will say that, as long as I have plenty of other deliriously rude things, which, as long as I avoid saying. At least it's something. That's probably enough, you tell him. Kanyes is staring icily at him, but he doesn't seem to notice. You suggest that it is a good time to settle down. The sun's going to be rising pretty soon. Right. While we still have some moonlight, would you like to stay for a while, Kenya, and play some games with us? Oh, that is quite alright. I'm afraid I have duties to attend at home. I left a dress in the oven. Kanya blinks, carefully maintaining her pose. It's 8 out of place, see? I'm getting experimental. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, goodbye. She stares on Tarvos and shoots you a pointing glance. Take it as a cue to place a hand on her shoulder, concentrate on her hive, and send her back in a flash of light. Something, at least. Once she's gone, Tarvos wheels up to you and nudges you in the hip. So, regarding Kanya, this could perhaps be me misreading the situation, but when I reach deep inside and tap into the marvelous power of the self-esteems, it tells me that I am very bright and smart. You see the way that she's smiling at me? Just in a way to suggest amorous inclinations, eh? He waggles his eyebrows furiously in your directions. Oh geez. You tell Tarvos that just what friendship looks like. She's not his type, trust me, you say. Drat. But, oh well. I think there is a saying about this, that the sea has many fish in it. Now that I am feeling better, I think perhaps I will one day go fishing for a quadrant or two. It's the start. Definitely a start. Time for this kid to figure out what genuine self-esteem is like, but just like the prospering clouds part to reveal a brilliant sky on you, you think Tarvos is on the verge of seeing the sun. Moon? Metaphor could work better on Earth. Yeah, it's probably better on Earth. Tarvos can be more than he is. He doesn't need to change it. When he offers you a smile, there is a spark of compassion behind it that tells you he's already worth the world. All he ever needed was somebody to believe in him. And money. He also needed money. So would you like perhaps a celebratory play round or two of photo spawn with me? I'm feeling much more prepared to enjoy a game, and perhaps think that this time I proceed to crush you with my incredible might as a photo spawn breeder. Except, I mean that in a nice way, like that it was a friendly challenge. If you'll accept. The word friend in the sentence was all he needed. That's great. I actually kind of want to play that because that sounds super fun. But anyways, I hope you guys have a good day, night, month of your lives, and may the stars forever it might lead you into the future. Bye, everybody.